Good morning, my name is Brittany. I am an NPC bikini competitor and I am just a little bit over 2 weeks out from NPC Nationals in Orlando. So today I'll be taking you all through a back workout and show you all what I do to help keep that upper body shape and bring that hourglass shape into this next show. So to start off my back days, I always like to start off with a movement that's really going to stretch out my lats for me. So this gym doesn't have one, but at other gyms I might use like a really slow assisted pull up and just really feel my lats stretch all the way out and all the way down my back. I also really like to do some straight arm pull downs. I just like to start off nice and slow. The purpose is to just open up my back and really start engaging my lats. And so you just want to make sure you're keeping that core tight. You're giving yourself a full range of motion and you want to retract your shoulders and engage your back. And you don't want to be like seesawing your body. Just like that. No set rep scheme on that. I like to keep the weight kind of light to moderate and just kind of be feeling out the stretch, what my body needs that day. So I am a NICU nurse. I work at VCU Health and I love my job so much, but it is probably one of the craziest jobs you can have while trying to be a competitor because I work rotating days and nights, like 12, 13-hour shifts. So people will ask me how I'm able to fit it in, how do I do my meals when I'm like working overnight, and I really just have to look week by week at my schedule and just figure out where I can fit everything in the best that will preserve my energy and recovery in between the days. I try to rest on the days that I have back-to-back shifts in between because there's like no time in between those shifts. It is hard because I'm on my feet all day, but in a way, I think it allows me to eat more food because I get so many steps in throughout the day and moving around. It keeps me energized and really the discipline and detail-orientedness that I get at work really also translates into bodybuilding and they just like feed off of each other. So I think it is kind of complementary even though the schedule is crazy. But they both have really taught me how to just work on myself better as a person. Not let the small details like slip away and just give everything my best. So it's hard, but we get it done. And RVA Iron is open 24/7 for the members. So if you have a schedule like that, you can easily come in at 4 a.m. or midnight and make it work for you. So that's a great thing that I love about this place. So this will be my third prep competing into my 6th competition. I started competing back in 2018. I was 21. I had a little bit of an athletic background and I just really enjoyed like keeping that competitive outlet. And I ended up taking a full 2-year off season before this prep and it was just such a game changer for me. I really increased my training intensity so much more. Like I thought I was pushing myself harder, but as you grow and develop, that's what's awesome about bodybuilding is you can grow and develop your training like in so many different ways. I brought my metabolism up super high, so my food has been relatively really high this whole prep, and it's just been like so rewarding that I took all that time off and just worked on building the foundation that I have now. I've been working with my coach for a little over a year. Her name is Maria, out of Virginia Beach. Her and her husband are both coaches, and we're like a little family. They really support me with posing, in-person check-ins, training, and I think it's super important to have a really good relationship with your coach. Talk to their clients and not only see how they do in season, but also how are they doing like once the show is over. Are the coaches taking care of them with their reverse diet, keeping them motivated and set up for long-term success? I think is a really important thing to consider. Being able to check in person with my coach has been also a really awesome extra step of just accountability and connectedness. I know a lot of people here are on Team Heavy Unit and they can check in with Sebastian, and I go down to Virginia Beach similarly to go check in with my coach. So that has just been a really awesome relationship that we've built, and I would totally recommend that little family down there. It's all about finding that community of support, so I'm really happy that I found that there. So here we're going to be using this kind of fixed lat pull down machine that we got here, I want to say maybe a month or so ago. I've never used a machine like this before, but what I really like is it just kind of forces some extra stability. You can't cheat these reps as much as you can with like a regular lat pull down cable. So I've been adding this one in to challenge myself, really force that good form and keep that strength up for my lats. And I also just like to do some good stretches here, stretch out my lats and kind of rotate my shoulders around. I trained recently with my coach's husband down at the House of Gains in Virginia Beach, and he showed me a bunch of stretches to incorporate in between back exercises, and it really helped with my activation of my lats. So this one, also earlier in my workout, I like to just stretch and use that tension and kind of rotate my delts around a little bit. So I'm going to be using this Atlantis seated unilateral row first. What I love about this machine as compared to like a bent over barbell row, especially in prep, it takes so much strength to support your body up when you're doing a barbell row. When I'm using this machine, I can really focus all my strength on the one lat at a time and not having to use some of that strength like supporting your body up. And doing it unilateral, I can focus all my energy and strength on one side, take a good rest, and then hit the other side. So really focusing on like the upper lats, like with some pull down movements, because in bikini, you just really need that width there. You don't really need too much thickness in the back. So I'm mainly focused on pull down movements, but I also like to keep some rows in here. So I'll usually do 2 to 3 pull down type movements and then about 2 rows in my back. really keep that range of motion and the tension kind of as far as you can and that control, but you don't want to like really lose the tension at the end of the rep. And you still have to use your core to try to keep yourself from twisting too much too. So you want to kind of limit twisting of your torso and just really isolate that lat. So I'm going to be doing a high cable row. I love that our cable stack has one of these here. And I'm just using this like neutral grip attachment. Allows me to have some width here in between my grips to help expand out my lats. And just another angle I like to hit my lats from, either using this machine or we have an Atlantis plate loaded high row to work on my upper lats. I kind of have to like put my feet here to stabilize myself a little bit, and like I said, you just want to engage those lats, retract the shoulders first, and keep that tension but stretch them all the way out. Griffin was asking me about music on prep and with my workouts, and I really love EDM. I also like rap, but I just need that like intense music when I'm training and doing cardio. It's almost like, especially cardio is almost like an emotional experience. Like you have to like dig deep to get through it when you're not feeling great. So I love SoundCloud mixes. Some of my favorite are Jansen has like these gutter mixes that are like really fun, upbeat, like kind of hip hop inspired music. And I just love finding mixes on SoundCloud. Just like keeps it going. You don't have to change your music all the time. A lot of smaller DJs have some good stuff. So my music and like my workouts go like hand in hand. And sometimes I'll train here with no headphones on because this is like the only gym ever where there's actually good music on. Usually rap, but yeah, it's always good to find that good music on prep. Like it becomes so important to me because I need that like emotional like motivation. So last exercise we're gonna do is some rear delt face pulls, either with a cable or with a bar. I find it takes me a few sets sometimes on these to like finally get that activation in my rear delts. I heard a cue that if you kind of try to like flare your lats a little, it can help you activate the rear delts more. But this is one of those exercises I have to challenge myself to get myself to do because it is hard to activate, but it does look good to have like that nice like rear delt like in your back pose showing. So I like to add in 1 or 2 of these on my back days as well for the last thing. And I just try to visualize that muscle. I try to keep my back and my traps out of it. So my workout split, I have been doing 5 training days for the past couple years. I find 2 rest days, sometimes an extra one here and there is like perfect for me. And I'm already dominant in my legs and glutes, so I just train those twice a week, and I only really need to grow my hamstrings. So I don't hammer my leg days as much as I do my upper body because I really need to keep my balance. I haven't had this upper body muscle as long as I've had my lower body, so I train a back day, a shoulder day, and then a back and shoulders day to kind of hit them both again, get some extra frequency and volume in there. So that's been my split for like this whole year, but I haven't really felt the need to change it because it's worked for my growth and for holding on to my muscles. So I really love this split. I hit upper body 3 times a week, which is always fun to get that upper body pump 3 times a week. So that is how my split's been for the past year, and it's like if it isn't broke, I'm still seeing progress. I'm not gonna change it, so yeah. Peak week for me. So I've done 2 competitions this prep, the first time with my new coach, and she did have me water load in the beginning of the week, but then we really didn't cut water at all. We kept the water intake the same throughout even show day. She was like, keep drinking water the same. And this made me really nervous. In the past, I had also had coaches tell me to use like over-the-counter diuretics and to cut the water, and I was really nervous that I wouldn't lose the water weight, and we really barely did anything. My coach's philosophy was like, you've been sending pictures every single day and you look great, like doing what you're doing, like there's no need to do anything extreme and risk like the variability in your look. So I just trusted her, and peak week all we did was water load in the beginning of the week. and kept drinking water to keep the fullness in my muscles and to not look skinny. And it just goes to show you, you really don't need to do anything extreme, especially in bikini. You don't want to look too dry, too flat, too hard, too vascular. So I think that just keeping, if you're already stage lean and in shape, you don't need to do anything extreme to get that nice stage look. So it really took trusting in my coach and realizing that it's also healthier on your body. You're not going to rebound as bad. And so that's a lesson that I learned from my coach. And I think it's important to share that you don't need an extreme like peak week protocol in order to achieve the look that you want on stage. So. So I'm in the posing room now. We got this put in like a couple months ago or so. It was like right at the perfect time because I'm getting ready for my next national show. And this is like such an amazing place to come practice your posing. We got this nice like overhead light and these mirrors here and the back mirror. So I've just been trying to work on my posing like almost every single day after my lifts. Especially after you get that muscle activation during your lift, you can kind of carry that over into your posing and help activate those muscles a little bit better in your poses. So I'm gonna just do a little bit of posing practice now that I'm done with my lift. And we have like this back mirror too, which is really helpful to see yourself from the back when you're posing from the front too. So. All right, thanks you guys for coming through with my back workout. Again, I am a little bit over 2 weeks out, so I'm starting to get close, starting to really get those prep feels, so this was a nice little something different to do. Definitely come over here, get the best workouts, best posing experience you can get here at RVA Iron. I'm so thankful for this community here that like keeps me going during the hard times during prep, keeps me motivated. So thanks for watching, and go kill it out there.